Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So, I had like 1R today, but it should have been like 4 or 5R. And this is like probably half the days I've since March 4th, Tuesday, March 4th, when I started my win streak. Half the days since then that I won, I said I should have made a lot more money today. And the reason I didn't make more money is because I got out too early. Oftentimes, after I'd exit, I'd see the market continue in the direction I was trading quite a bit, quite a lot. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. That's the heart of what I want to talk about. If we look at the chart for today, and actually, let me pull up a screenshot. Let me not pull up the chart. Let me pull up this screenshot. This is what I should have targeted. Down here, why down here? Because if we look left, we see that is a part the market has touched a couple times. Markets are efficient. It likes to, and the bears have been in control. So we expect that, hey, they're gonna fight for this level and try to bring it back down here. So first bar before the open, and I was asleep for the first 40 minutes of the trading day. I was up super late last night and I was working, and my body really needed sleep. So I slept in and I missed this. But how I would have traded this, according to my system, we've got bearish EMAs, we've got bearish 5 minute. I would have entered off of this short off this bar. And I would have targeted the logical level to the left, and that would have got me about 30 to 35 points. You know, if I would have targeted where this arrow points, like right down here. So I could have got 35 points in 25 minutes. 1 bar, 2, 15, 20, 25. 20 to 25 minutes. I could have got 30 points. And then it pulls back, and this is where I finally wake up and start watching. And I set my take profit to be down here. Okay, I got called out on it in my Discord by my friend Russell, and this is what good trading friends do. This is why you have to. I think you don't want to trade alone. You don't want to be a lone wolf. You want to have a community, because people can call you out like this and say, "Dude, this is where your original take profit was set. Why didn't you keep it that way?" And I literally said when I entered, I was like, let's see, I said, I will let it stand and not be greedy. No need to be interfering mid-trade. I said, I'm short now. I'm not going to interfere. I'm going to let this guy ride no matter what. Not scared about the outcome. Well, when you're in a trade, biases hit you pretty hard because I didn't do what I said I would do. In fact, 846 to 832. So in 14 minutes, I completely let the biases affected me. I was scared about the outcome. I didn't let it ride no matter what. Gaming too good. Said it's about time. And then no. I said an update at 8:37, and I'm like, the market moved my way faster than expected, but I'm still not gonna change anything. I will let it stand. And then of course I changed something. So Russell makes the joke. So he calls me out. Thank you. That's what good trading friends do. I was like, I didn't have the balls to hold. I was making a joke. I lost them. Blah, blah, blah. He goes, Pete, I'm about to give you an incredibly profitable plan, but it involves walking your dog. And that's because yesterday I had a great trade, or a couple days ago maybe, I had a great trade, and I didn't interfere because I was walking my dog, and it went my direction. And then I come back and I get out, and I move my take profit up and get out early. And of course it goes to my take profit like a bar later. And it's just like so then I talk about not interfering. And At first, I was like, I shouldn't watch the market. After I enter my trade, I should set and forget. Al Brooks calls it a Walmart trade. I should go off desk. And hey, maybe I should go off desk for like 5 to 10 minutes. But then I realized, like, sometimes I make a trade and it's a good trade, but I get stopped out. And then I get a second chance to re enter, and then that goes my way. So if I just abandon my screen completely, go off desk, don't watch my trade, then I might miss a good second entry opportunity. So I don't want to do that. So then I came up with a better approach, a plan where I can watch the market, but to make sure I'm not having a second entry be, I'm not missing a second entry opportunity if I get stopped right away. But I'll just tell you my plan now. So going forward, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick to only taking pocket aces as I have been. I'm going to stick to good risk management, only risking like $75 per trade so I don't get too emotional, so I can lose 10 times in a row and not have my account / life ruined. What I'm going to do is I'm going to enter a trade. And then I'm going to come to my Excel here. And I'm going to, well, let me show you this Excel. And I have a 60-second, I just have a grace period where I can, why is this being so effy? I have a 60-second grace period where I can look at my criteria. I can enter them here and make sure, okay, like, I'm aligned with the higher time frames. I had my confirmation break. This is a good trade. I can make sure it's a good trade, because sometimes I shoot before I aim, as Brett Donnelly puts it. Like, as a trader, we have to react fast, and sometimes I just act right away based on what I'm seeing. But then I can come back here and verify, okay, that was a good trade. I'm gonna leave this now, and then it's hands off. I'm not allowed to touch it. Now, in that minute or two where I'm verifying if it was a good trade, I say, oh, why am I long right now? Like, the market has been super bearish. The EMAs are bearish. We're below the open. We're below the prior day range. I should not be getting long right now. This is dumb. Then I can exit, okay? Because sometimes you see something and you're like, this looks good. And then you realize, like, no, that wasn't good. And you can exit, and that's fine. What's not good, though, is when you take a pocket aces trade, you have appropriate risk, everything's going well, it's 3/4 of the way to your take profit, and you're like, well, I'm up, I'm going to get out. You can't do that, because that's what causes you to miss out on the great moves, the big moves. It's off plan. You're leaving money on the table, and then you have to look at the chart at the end of the day and go, oh, I could have made so much more money. I could have made more points. It's like I can look back at the chart and not have as many regrets, because you're never going to be able to time the top and the bottom perfectly. You're going to make mistakes, or not mistakes. You're never going to capture the full move. But you should at least capture as much of it as you possibly, as your original entry plan says you should. And I can't interfere. I'm interfering way too much. It's my biggest problem. My new biggest problem. My old biggest problem was not risking enough. Or risking way too much. Not having risk management. That was my biggest problem for 3 years. My other biggest problem was not having an edge. Not having a plan, just kind of trading off vibes. Thinking I was trading off a plan, but really I was just lying to myself and gambling. And that goes hand in hand with risk management. But like, risk management is number one, and then not having an edge was also like kind of equally number one. Now I have an edge. I've had one for a bit, and I have risk management. I've had it for about a month after 37 months, 1 year, 3 years and 1 month. I finally have that. So now it's like I'm putting myself in good trades. I'm winning. I'm going on win streaks, but I'm leaving a lot on the table, and I'm letting my emotions get me out because I can't deal with the discomfort. So now I've got my stop loss distance and my take profit target in points that I'm recording. Okay. And then that will tell me what my expected loss is if the trade fails, and my expected value is if the trade wins. So I'm thinking right from the start of the trade, how much will I lose? How much will I make? Does this math make sense? That's what I want to focus on, is the EV. And I've never heard people say EL, or expected loss, but I'm sure that's a thing. I think people just mainly focus on the expected value. But like Paul Tudor Jones says, I don't think about how much I'm going to make. I think about how much I'll lose if I'm wrong. And he makes the point you should spend more time focusing on how much you'll lose. So right from the start, I'll just think right away, how much will I win? How much will I lose? This math is auto calculated by what I enter over here, by my stop loss distance, my take profit distance, and the number of contracts I trade, and the value per point. That's how I do that simple math. I color coded it green and white for expected value. I love Michigan State. The Spartans, their colors are green and white. I don't like University of Michigan. Their colors are maize and blue. So that's why I made the expected loss column blue and yellow, their colors, and then green and white, Michigan State colors, because I like Michigan State and I don't like University of Michigan. And I took some notes here too. You guys can pause this and read it. I like this note I wrote to myself: letting this ride no matter what. I'm not scared. Smiley face. Well, I was scared. I did not let it ride. And then I like roast myself and say, okay, you are over trading. If you just let it ride from the get-go, you would have hit. And it would have been a 3R hit or damn near. 3R is an excellent day. Don't try to do as much and watch every tick. For what it's worth, you could have had a 25-point average winner with 2 contracts if you just didn't interfere. You must not do that. And I already told you about the Discord conversations I had. So I was chatting in there in parallel as I was filling this out. And if I had a 25-point winner with 2 contracts, let's see how much I would have made. $250. $250 is 3.33R. So, yeah, I got less than half is what I should have had on this trade. And if I would have let it ride, I also would have avoided these 2 losses. Okay? I would have avoided these 2 losses. Let's check out these losses real quick. Yeah, so I already told you what I did right here. I entered after the close of this bar, because I already got out 1 contract, so I only had 1 contract left. I said, okay, I think it's going to keep going lower, so I added another contract at this close, and I moved my stop loss from break even down to right here. Stopped me out. If I wouldn't have ever moved my stop loss from break even, or just kept it above this bar here, bar 14, it still would have hit. Okay, I could have moved my stop loss to break even and let the rest of the trade ride out. And then right here, I sold this bar. I decided this was like near the prior day low, so I just put my stop loss super close, kind of experimenting with it a little bit, because a really great trader was telling me I should try and keep my stop losses closer. But yeah, I shouldn't have traded. It was right to get short here, because look what happened. It didn't come above this high. But if I would have just traded my normal strategy, stop loss or entry right here, stop loss below here or above here, target the size of this measured move. So 25 points. Go 25 points down from 65 down to 40. Boom. That would have hit in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 bars. 25 minutes. I would have hit a 25-point win from risking 58 up to 69. So 11 points to make 25 points in 25 minutes. It It's unfortunate. It is unfortunate, but what are you gonna do? I have my plan now for how I'm gonna not be as phased by these emotions. I'm gonna let it ride. After my 60 to 2 minute grace period, just after I make sure it's a good trade, which ideally I'll do before the trade even starts. But if I don't, uh, if I have to shoot before I aim, look, I'm allowed to get out if it's a bad trade. I realize that right after I make it. For a small loss, that's fine. But if I'm in a trade, I can't allow emotions, greed, fear to shake me out. I can't be controlled by my emotions. That's what gamblers do, and that's what unprofitable traders do. I have to just not interfere. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and do a better job of letting my trades ride. If I had done that today, my P&L, instead of being, am I up only a half R? Oh, I guess I'm only up a half R. I thought I was up 1 R, but instead of being up 0.5 R, I would be up like 4 or 5 R. Like, if I call it this first move down, boom, and then the second move down, boom, I mean, what would that be? It'd be 30 points, 25 points, 30 points. We'll say 50 points. 50 points times $10 a point. That's $500. I could have had a $500 day, but instead of, I'm sitting here with a $43 day. And the only way I'll ever have these $500 days, these days where I do really well, is if I'm comfortable letting it ride. Okay? My average win time, let's look at my stats. This is the last thing we'll do. Let's look at my stats from since February 6th. Last 5 weeks. I'm up $435 after fees. My P&L curve went up. I had that slump. I fought back out of that slump, and now I'm up here. And now I had a bad day yesterday, and I'm back here. So I'm up. Pretty equal looking P&L distribution. But imagine if like a dozen of these bars, instead of being $50 wins, imagine if they were $150 wins. If it's just 5 of them were, if I just let 2 or 3 of my trades actually go to completion, I would have done a lot better. So that's what I have to do. I have to let trades go to completion and not exit prematurely. Joking, of course, just making some funny jokes. And that'll help me out. So let your trades finish and don't exit prematurely. That's my advice. Okay. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Peace.